Okay, so the horn setup has received a significant upgrade. We have a 60 gallon there, we have an 11, we have another 11, and we have yet another 11. We have 93 gallons of air on board, which is very, very, very convenient. Would have used galvanized all over the place, but it gets a little tricky when you're trying to put all this stuff together. But yeah, that fits in there like a glove. Before, the 2 seats were down, so it was just a 2-seater for a while, but happy to have the 3rd seat back. And the other significant upgrade we have is a single stage AW206. You might have noticed, got that other, this is a handle from a, what was that? 195. Actually, right here. Let's see here. So that's the original handle that was on it. It is pretty cool, but just like that extra little factor in there, you can really quill the piss out of anything. But yeah, here you go. So I'm not sure if anybody's done a video on this before, but crappy lighting anyhow. This is a 2-stage. You can see how that's kind of got a button there for the 1st stage. And then down further, that other circle, which is pretty much that, oh guys, that giant circle, which is just your singular stage. There you can see there's a very nice little device there. Another thing you'll notice is that this is definitely a later AW195. So that it's made out of aluminum. And this one is all yellow bronze. It's still got the brass fitting in there. Take this off, you actually have to take that bolt out for this assembly to pop off. Then you can service and fix the rest of whatever's going on in there if you're changing gaskets and whatnot. But the other thing, another thing, yet again, is that there is no mounting holes on the 2-stage. I think that's, well, correct me if I'm wrong, that should be interchangeable. So say I was heartstrung on just, you know, keeping this in line, not tangling with this crap and everything like that, you could essentially just, yeah, pop that out, take this out, and then put the innards from the actual 206 and put it in there. And a lot of, you know, railroad shops and things like that, they probably did a bunch of that too. You can imagine. I like the part number on there too, AW240. Up for demonstration, we have a K5L. So without further ado, we can give a little quill demonstration. This might be kind of hard and shaky, but we'll see here. Now try doing that with a 2-stage, because the second you introduce that 1st stage, the air will just push that little frickin' button all the way down. And then you'll be halfway pretty much into the quill sequence. It'll kind of sound like a P42 DC, where it's, you know, you got the button halfway and then all the way down, of course. But this is why, that's a pretty good example of why single stages are very, very, very common in the horn collecting community if you can get your hands on them. They're expensive, paid a pretty penny for this one, but fully restored, everything like that, much more desirable to have if you can only find a Graham White. This is a pretty good valve too. But honestly, between that 2-stage and this Graham White here, I honestly say you actually have more quilling action here than you do there. But this is your ultimate game plan right here. If you can get your hands on one of these, and they're honestly, they pop up quite often, and you can actually find them every once in a while, and some for a decent price too. And even the same guy that sold me this actually has the restoration parts needed to do that. Actually ended up doing it with this one, and of course this assembly was on there, but I don't know, having that rope on there, you can pretty much get every individual bell on this guy to sound. But that's just like a little overview too. Yeah, I know. You drilled into the roof, but hey, if you have a good vehicle and you want to use it forever, that's the way to do it, eh? And that's a T in there. That used to go to a bell. There's a bell valve down here. I got the E-bell on there. Need to come up with a better bracket solution for that. That's why I haven't done a bell video for a while. Still trying to find some good metal and a better setup for that. But there you go. If you have any questions, or if you are actually in the midst of building a horn setup, here you go. It's quite simple. And even then, before, it was just a little union. That was pretty solid there. And you could just run a hose out the window. And way before that, the Graham White stood guard down here from the seat, kind of like how Maddie Farnsworth had her set up, where it was right by the seat. That's also seems more convenient that way, but this way is pretty convenient too, because then if you have a passenger that's running their horn, they don't have to reach around and, you know, rope you, if you will, anything like that. Or have dual Graham Whites. Thought about that too, even having it on this side. I think I did have it on that side for a short time, which again, that's convenient, because whenever you do a little horn honk, then you can have passenger 1 here, and even passenger 3 could reach up here and give it a good hoot if they wanted to. But there you have it. Horn setup, horn rig. If you're building one, here's an idea. Got a union there, stuff like that. Plumbing's pretty satisfying, but there you go. Any questions or comments? Feel free.